Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, December 5th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and then we'll get started shortly. Just a couple things here to update. All right, a few more things here and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. Looks good. All right, one last thing and we should be solid. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. Let me get this link sent out to the other pages over here as well. And we should be ready. So let's see who's here. Morning, Stern. Morning, Peter. Morning, Becky. Morning, Sisu. Morning, everybody. Let me finish sending out this link real quick. Solid. So I think we're good to go. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes, guys. Looks like people are still making their way in. All right, cool. Let me just post this on the Instagram real quick and we should be all covered. All right, cool. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, December 5th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend, but I'm ready to get back on these charts. So let me fix this real quick. 1 minute right there. So let's take a look at the overall direction right now for US30 or YM, whatever you guys want to consider it. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 69% short, indicating that 69% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So long term, you probably want to be buying, but short term, we'll see where price is actually going. So looking over here at the fundamentals, currently down 225 points. So price is dropping right now. Looking over here at the 4-hour time frame. For our time frame, price is bullish. 1-hour time frame, neutral. So there hasn't really been much of a full direction with regard to the longer time frames and the shorter time frames. 30-minute right here is bearish. 15-minute is also bearish. And lastly, the 10-minute here is bearish as well. So as you guys can see, long-term direction is bullish, short-term direction is bearish. So there's a bit of a mix here. There's not really one direction across the board, which is going to be difficult for us to take something like, say, the breakout. So we'll see what the breakout looks like. I don't know if I'll take it. Probably not, because these things aren't lined up. If these are all lined up, then I'll possibly take the breakout. But if it's not lined up, then I'm probably just going to skip it. Looking over here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute, this is all bearish right here. As you can see, for the 10 minute, price is below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down, they're spread out. Same with the 5. Price is below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down and they're spread out. Lastly, here on the 1 minute, same exact thing, right? So you can see a couple momentum scalp entries here that actually hit pre-market. Not this one right here, because I don't know what's happening at this point, but the ones prior over here they actually did hit. I typically don't trade this close to market open anyways, for, obvious reasons. Let me check if there was news this morning that was causing, all this movement here around 6 o'clock. So looking over here at the calendar here for Monday, looks like there is news coming up right here at 6:45 and then news at 7. So 6:45 and 7, we have news coming up. Doesn't look like there was anything prior, but I still wouldn't trade like around that time pre-market. Once you hit 6 o'clock, that's kind of like you're getting close to market open. So you don't want to mess with the market around there, because you might get caught in these like unusual price movements. I typically don't trade pre-market anymore anyways. So it's not really, it wouldn't have been something that I would have looked to take. So, all right, with everything all set up right here, we can go ahead and get ready for market open over here at 6:30. Market is opening in about 2 minutes, guys, or about a minute. Other than that, we have news at 6:45, news over here at 7 o'clock. Let me check my FX book real quick. Yeah, 6:45 and 7. I think that's about it. Another news event over here at 8:30, but we won't be trading around that time. So, all right, guys. Market is about to open shortly. As you can see over here, long-term direction is bullish. Short-term direction is bearish. However, the long-term direction can be following the short time frames over here. So with that said, we'll see what happens when the market opens in the next 20 seconds. All right, guys, market is opening in about 15 seconds now. Hey, Abraham, how's it going? Good to see you here in the live session. Looks like you noticed I opened up the chat again, so good to see you back here. It's good to see a lot of old faces. I haven't seen you guys or talked to you guys in a while. A lot of guys who've taken a break from trading, and it's good to see a lot of you guys here popping into the YouTube and seeing that you guys still follow, even after all these years, months, weeks, etc. So, all right, guys, market is now open. As you can see, price is kind of bouncing around right here. I'm going to go ahead and mark up opening price right there. Mark it up over here as well on the clean chart. So we'll be following this right here. Morning, Maria. Morning, Kenny. Morning, everybody. We'll be following this right here. If this closes with a buy signal and a strong green candle, this would technically be the buy entry for the breakout. As I mentioned before, I'm not going to take the breakout because there's no clear direction here. As you can see from the overall confluences, long-term direction is bullish, short-term direction is bearish. Price can really go either direction. So we'll see where this goes. There's no breakout here. As you can see, this did not close with the buy signal. It also did not close with a strong green candle either. So there's two different scenarios here that can play out. We either get a buy signal with a strong green candle, and that'll be a buy for the breakout. However, if we get a strong sell candle right here regarding this direction, then we can look for a possible sell for the breakout. But right now, we're probably looking for a buy here because we see this pending buy signal and price keeps pushing up. So if there's a buy signal that closes here with a strong green candle, meaning little to no wick on the top side, then that could possibly be the breakout. However, if we get the opposite, because we currently have a sell momentum right now at the moment, then that could be the breakout. So a little bit of some choppy movements here. As you guys can see, I probably would sit out the market right now because from each candle right here, the wicks are super big. So when the wicks are big like this indicates an indecisiveness in price direction, right? So we don't really know where price is going. Price can go up, price can go down. Price can go up, fake out, come back down, or can do the opposite, fake out to the bottom and shoot right back up, right? So not necessarily the type of market I want to trade in. If the breakout doesn't happen within the next 3 minutes, then no breakout for today. And we'll continue looking for our normal entries as price continues to move along. All right, so there's still nothing for us to take right here. If this closes with a strong red candle, this could technically be the breakout for a sell. As I mentioned, guys, if you guys are new here, if you guys haven't been here for a while, I'm only focusing on two strategies. I'm focusing on the momentum scalp strategy and the high-low momentum pivot scalp. So this is one of the strategies here, and the other strategy that I'm looking at would be this and over here. So I'm not even looking at the breakout. I'm just marking it up if you guys want to take it, because I know a lot of you guys still like to take that trade. However, one of the red flags here is that price is literally at opening price. So you want to be very careful about taking the entries here. This will technically be the breakout, guys, because it did close as a strong red candle. But I just want to warn you guys that price is at a red flag, right? So you want to avoid trades when price is near sessions, opening price, and news price. So let me just turn on the sessions. I don't even have the sessions on right here. I thought I did, but looks like I accidentally removed it. So here is the sessions indicator, which is fine because there's no sessions around price currently, but there is still a red flag here, which is opening price. So I wouldn't have taken this trade here, even if it was a valid entry for myself. Obvious red flag right there. Red flags when to avoid trades when price is near sessions, opening price, and news price. Price was literally on opening price for this entry right here. This blue line right here is opening price. So I definitely wouldn't have taken this trade here, even if I saw it and if it lined up with my criteria. So no entry there. Let me make sure I have the sessions open over here as well. All right, I got the sessions open on this chart as well. So good thing that we didn't take this trade here, because you can see how price kind of spiked all the way up, right? There's no direction in price right now. You want to wait for some sort of direction to actually present itself. So looking at this right here, this would have technically been the breakout, but as I mentioned, obvious red flag right here. You don't want to enter trades when price is in your opening price. This entry over here happened right at opening price. So again, here's another example why you guys avoid red flags, right? Not just for the breakout, but for any other entry, because if you have an entry directly on that line, like you did right here, price gets highly manipulated. It can either break through and drop further, or it can bounce directly off it and shoot right up. So whenever you see price near any of these horizontal lines, whether it be blue for opening price, purple for sessions, red for sessions, green for sessions, or pink or magenta for news, you want to avoid it, because you'll get issues like this. As you can see, whenever price got near this blue line right here, it had issues, right? Price broke below, faked out, came above, faked out, came below, faked out again. And it just faked out like about 4 or 5 times right here before it shot all the way up. So whenever you get that, just avoid the trade. It's not worth the risk. So with that said, no breakout for today, or no breakout that I would necessarily want to take or would recommend. So we're going to move on to our normal strategies here, which will be the momentum scalp and high-low momentum pivot scalp. Right now, looking here on the 10, we have a bearish bias with regard to the trend. Same with the 5 minute, still bearish here. However, momentum here on the 10 is bearish, pointing down. And then we have momentum pointing up on the 5 minute. So with that said, we don't have an alignment of direction, right? In order for us to have alignment, we need overall trend, which is fine here. We have a bearish trend, but we don't have an alignment of momentum. So what I'm looking for here on the 5 minute is I'm looking for a sell signal to come up. Once I get a sell signal on the 5 over here, then I can possibly look for sells here on the 1 minute. But currently we're going from a top-down analysis. The 10 minute is okay here. 5 minute is not okay. So we can't even move down to the 1. However, if this here closes with a buy signal on the 10 minute, then we can look for a possible shift in direction. So we currently have a bearish trend over here, but if this closes with the buy signal, we'll have a bullish momentum, and this can easily shift from bearish to bullish from that point. So it's just going to be a matter of patience, guys. Just keep in mind that today is Monday. Monday is one of the riskier days to trade. Monday and Friday are the riskier days to trade. I think Monday is probably worse than Friday in some instances, because a lot of people are re-entering the market from the weekend. So there's a bit of a sell-off here pre-market, and then prices just swing right back up. So you guys want to be very, very patient with your entries here, because you want to make sure that you identify and confirm the overall direction with regard to momentum and trend before you look for any entries here, because you don't want to jump the gun and hop into a position here. Like, for example, you see price shifting to the upside, and then you chase this buy over here, and then price ends up faking out and coming right back down. right? Because that happens a lot. We also have news coming up right here at 6:45, so we want to be very careful about that as well. The news event at 6:45 is going to be final services PMI. So this is some inflation news. And then again, over here at 7 o'clock, ISM services PMI, which is high impact. So we get a lot of inflation news coming up right here, 6:45, 7. And this will probably push price in the direction that it needs to go. So you want to be very careful about the news right there. It's high impact coming up soon. Anyways, it wouldn't matter for us because we can't take any entries until the 10 and 5 minute lineup first. So the 10 minute over here is still bearish, has a pending buy signal right there, but it is still bearish. I'll turn on my alerts here so that we can be aware of any changes in signal. But yeah, so 10 minute here, we're still looking for sells. 5 minute over here, it's in a bearish trend, but momentum here still is bullish currently. So we need a sell signal right here. Once we get that sell signal, this will align with the 10 minute over here. And then from that point, we can start looking for sells here on the 1 minute. But until we get that, we just got to wait. So all about patience, guys, patience and discipline right here, waiting for everything to line up so that when you have these lined up, you can identify your perfect entry here on the 1 minute. So just sit tight. It's only 6:38. We've only been trading for about 9 minutes now. So we got like a whole hour ahead of us, guys. There's no need to rush anything. Just wait for it. And once you get that confirmation, we can start looking for possible entry. So we got that pending buy signal here on the 10. If this comes up right here, then we need a shift from identifying the momentum to identifying the trend. But if it doesn't close, we're going to continue to identify shifting, looking for the shift in momentum here on the 5, because the 10 minutes is going to be set for a sell. So we've got about 20 seconds left on this candle. Let's see how this closes. If this here confirms that it's still in a bearish downtrend with bearish momentum, then we're going to move on to the 5 minute. If it doesn't, then we're going to have to wait for it to close, and then we're going to wait for this to shift, and it's going to start the whole process over again, which is not a big deal. I mean, you're only looking at 3 time frames here. So it's not like you're looking at a whole lot of things. You're just looking at things in order. Okay, so right here on the 10 minute, you can see that we had a buy signal close, right? So now our main focus is going to be here on the 10 minute. So since we have a buy signal here and we have a buy signal here, momentum is bullish. The problem here is that the trend is still bearish. As you can see, price is still below the pivots on the 5 minute and 10 minute. Trend meter is still red on both of these time frames. Pivots are still angling down and they're still spread out. So we have a mix with regard to trend in comparison to direction of momentum. You need both of those to line up in order for you to have an entry. So with that said, we're either going to look for the trend to shift here on the 10 minute and we'll look for buys, or we're going to look for a sell signal to come up here and we're going to keep following this for a sell. And then once we have that confirmed, we can look over here at the 5, right? So right now, the 5 minute and 1 minute don't matter. We're only focusing here on the 10. This is our main focus because this is going to be the starting point. Once we confirm the direction here on the 10, then we can look at the 5, make sure that this aligns with the 10, and then we can go to the 1 to look for actual entries. We also have news coming up right here in about 4 minutes, so it's not a big deal. There's not really much for us to look at here. So we just got to wait. It's going to be a matter of time right here. What I'm looking for is momentum here, or I'm looking for a shift in price. So there's nothing for us to take at the moment. Let's take a look at the Forex pairs over here real quick. So I think there's one more strategy that I'm going to add to the threshold over here. So like we currently have only 3 strategies. We have the SR zone strategy. And then we also have the momentum scalp and high-low momentum pivot scalp. There's another way to apply the momentum entry over here for Forex. And I think that's another one that I'm going to be looking at to implement into our revamp of the trading course so that you guys have opportunity. You have more trade opportunities to take for Forex, because the 4 hour here, you don't get that many entries. And the thing with the strategy here, it's very similar. You're looking for a similar direction, either bullish or bearish across 3 different time frames. And then you're going to use the momentum for entry. Basically what we're doing here on US30, but you're going to be applying it on Forex, and your target's going to be like the next high low. So I have this over here marked up right now. Me and Maddie identify this. This entry over here actually aligns with the SR zone strategy. So you can see price breaking, closing past the structure. This would technically be an entry. Generally, your entry would be to this point right here, but applying the other strategy, you can have it pushed to a higher level over here. So I'll go over this in the mentoring session later today. It's just an idea right now. I still need to test it to see how often it works, because the SR entries just don't come up as often. So this would be another strategy that would be used in conjunction to provide more opportunities for entries. So some of you guys won't care about this because you guys don't even trade Forex, but I'm just going to put that out there for you guys who do trade Forex, something to anticipate. Let's see, Jajan said his MC5 is lagging terribly. Is anyone else's lagging? I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at mine because there's no entries for me to take. I'm looking at my trading view and my MT4 though. It does look like it's lagging a bit, but it looks like my trading view here is actually ahead. So, which is a good thing, because if I make entry here on my trading view, it's going to give me proper earlier entry on my MC4. So not sure if anyone else is having issues with their MC4 right now. I mean, it's not really a big deal because there's no entries for us to take at the moment. But if you guys do, maybe you can give Dejan here some peace of mind. It's not just him. All right. Anyways, guys, we have news coming up right here in 1 minute. Once we have that pass, we can go back to looking for entries. However, we have another news event coming up over here at 7 o'clock as well. So back here on the 10-minute, we still don't have a direction. Trend here is still bearish, so we're not really looking for buys here. We're just looking for the momentum here to shift and confirm the overall direction of trend and momentum. So basically what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a sell signal to come back up. If we get a sell signal here on the 10 and a sell signal here on the 5, then our direction is going to be right back to a sell, right? If we get that right there, great. We'll start looking for sells here on the 1 minute. But until we get that, our main focus right now is still going to be the 10-minute over here. So I don't really care what's going on the 1. I don't care what's going on the 5. I care about what's going on here on the 10. Because the 10 here is going to be leading. All right, so we got a pending sell signal here on the 5. That's perfect. We just need a sell signal back here on the 10 as well. So once we get that, then we can start looking for possible entries in that direction. Here we go, as price comes down. This is the news candle. I'll mark it up right here. Price is coming right back down to opening price. So we got news candle right there. I'll just take this off. And then the news candle right here as well. All right, so it looks like price is slumping right down to opening price, broke right through it. So let's see what happens here. Let's see if price ends up breaking past it or if it bounces directly off it. You can see right here from this candle, price came down and it bounced directly off the opening price, right? Again, this is another example why you want to avoid trades near any of these horizontal lines, because you can get a lot of manipulation from here. Price can either go one way or the other. Price will either break through and blast through it, or it'll just reject off it and correct right back up. All right, so we got, let's see. We got the sell signal still pending here on the 5. We don't have the sell signal on the 10 yet. But if we do get the sell signal here on the 10, then this is going to align for a sell bias with regard to trend and momentum, and we can start looking for sells here. But until we get that, again, guys, just be patient. Wait for this to confirm. Once it confirms, then we can go down to the lower time frames. So main focus here is still the 10. Still waiting for this to give us that confirmation of momentum. Once we get that, we can follow through and see where it goes from here. Thanks, Peter. News was neutral. Yeah, news was neutral right there. We have the more important news coming up right here at 7. So it's 6:47 right now. We got about 13 minutes till we get to this high impact news, ISM services, PMI, the high impact inflation news. And we'll see how that affects the market over here. So I'm glad that that news right there kind of pushed price down. It pushed into the direction that we needed to, because it was kind of just bouncing around this area. It retraced up here, faked out, came right back down. And now we're just looking for some sort of confirmation here on the 10. Confirmation we're looking for is that sell signal. Until we get the sell signal, no entry. So it's got to be patient here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, you know, it's just a waiting game at this moment. Waiting for the 10 minutes to confirm. Once it confirms, we'll move down to the 5. Once the 5 minute confirms, we'll move down to the 1 for entry. Pretty much just waiting for this perfect opportunity to arise. Hasn't come up yet. It's a matter of time until it does. And it's still early in the session. It's not even 7 yet. So we still have well over an hour till 8. All right. So again, let me go over here to the clean chart. Again, as I mentioned, see where price is currently at, opening price. There's like literally no direction. Price came below, came back above for the fake out, came back below. And then again, right here, price still hasn't decided which direction it wants to go to. So I wouldn't be surprised if price comes right back up and touches opening price again. Not exactly the best place to, look for entry. All right. So I think we just got to sit tight. I think we're gonna have to sit tight till around 7. Once the actual high impact news comes out right here at 7, this will probably be the deciding factor as to what direction price pushes, because I think price will probably push up pretty hard to the upside or push down very hard once we get to this candle over here. We got about 10 minutes though till news, so we just got to sit tight, see where this goes. All right, so we have a sell signal here pending on the 5 minute, sell signal pending here on the 10. This is exactly what we were looking for. So if this here closes on the 10 with the sell signal, and this here closes with the sell signal on the 5, then we can go down to the 1 and start looking for sell entries. However, this is going to be important. We actually need these here to close, right? If they don't close, then there's no confirmation. We can't go down to that lower time frame yet. We're still stuck here on the 10. Once this sell signal closes, we'll move down to the 5. If that sell signal closes, we'll move down to the 1. So it's all in order here, guys. We're going from top down, from top 10 minute to middle 5 minute down to the 1 minute for entry. This is how we confirm the direction and confirm momentum, so that we know if we take a sell here on the 1, whether we go into drawdown, we should be perfectly fine because we're expecting price to continue to drop further. So that's the key here, guys. You have overall direction, and then you line that up with your short-term entry, and your entry should hit just within a matter of time. It's not necessarily, it won't hit right away in all cases, but eventually, if you just hold on to the position, since we have a long-term direction here, it'll eventually hit your TP. So just got to be patient, guys. Wait for it and enter when you guys have that opportunity. All right. So we got the sell signal here still pending on the 5, sell signal pending over here on the 10. We'll see if this continues to drop. Looking at the 1 minute over here, there's a lot of like wicks on the bottom, like the wick keeps pushing up. So I don't know if this will actually close on the 5 and 10. But again, you can see right here where price is being manipulated around opening price. So it's not a good area. We need price to push away from it. You can see whenever price gets near it, it's either going to be a fake out or it's going to continue or push to the upside. There's just a lot of gray area right here, causing a lot of uncertainty. All right, so I don't see any entries here yet. We have news coming up in about 8 minutes. I'm going to go down the Forex pairs real quick to see if I could see anything at the moment. So I don't see any SR entries. I also don't see any of those momentum entries either. I'll mark some up just in case we have anything coming up here. Euro CHF, here's another entry here that me and Maddie kind of identified yesterday. We weren't really sure about it because of where price was moving. You can see the heavy drawdown right here and then it pushed right back up. So this might eventually hit. I was going to call this for a late entry, but it came up during the time that I wasn't online. Nothing here for EJ. Yeah, there's no entries over here for Forex. The Forex market has been kind of slow. If you guys have noticed, there hasn't been much of a direction here. It's either like really flat, or if there is an entry, it's just not a good entry to take. All right, so I don't see anything there for Forex. Go back to US30 over here. Again, price is near opening price right there. But it wouldn't matter. There's no reason for us to be looking on the 1 minute right now because the 5 and 10 have not aligned yet. So either way, there's no entry here for us to really look at. So looking over here on the 5, that sell signal did not close. So we don't have a confirmation of bearish momentum here just yet. We still have about 40 minutes or 40 seconds left on this candle, so it can easily drop in the last 30 seconds. Or if it doesn't, then we'll have to wait for that on the next candle. The 10-minute over here also isn't closing yet. We have about 5 minutes left on this candle, so we get a lot of time. However, here on the 5, this is probably gonna be the first one to close. 20 seconds left on this candle right here. Doesn't look like it's going to close. Looking over here on the clean chart, you can see where all the manipulation is happening. It's happening directly off this blue line, which is opening price. So until price pushes away from it, probably not going to have much direction at all. 5 minute over here did not close. Again, another signal here. So another pending sell signal over here for the 5. All right, I'm looking over here on the 1 minute. There might be a possible entry here for a high-low momentum pivot scalp. However, it's not one that I'm really looking to take because on the higher time frames, you don't really have alignment at the moment. So even if this here does close, I'm probably not going to take this one because I still want the 5 minute and 10 minute over here to align with the 1 minute. We have the bearish trend, however, we don't have the bearish momentum yet. So just looking over the requirements over here, identify momentum signal. We have a pending momentum signal over here. Actually, never mind, it didn't close. So there's actually no entry here. If this here did close with the sell signal, this would have been an entry for a high level momentum. Looking at the requirements, you want to identify momentum signal. There was one that was pending off this previous candle, but it did not close. We want to draw a zone at the previous high low. Since we're looking for a sell, we're looking at this high right here. Confirm momentum is rejecting off the zone, which it is right here. We have another possible entry off this next candle, but again, like I mentioned, I don't think I'm going to take it because this here is not, it doesn't align with the overall direction just yet. So right here, it says confirm trading in overall direction of trend and momentum. So we do have the trend here. Looking at the 5 minute and 10 minute, we do have the bearish trend because price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down and they're spread out. However, the sell signals have not aligned here on the 5 and 10. So with that said, we don't have the opportunity to confirm this one here just yet. So no entry here yet for this strategy either, because we just don't have that fourth requirement lined up yet. And this candle here didn't close, so wouldn't matter. There's no entry. Also, we have news coming up over here at 7 o'clock. What is this? Contract switch. Okay. All right, so no entry here. We have the pending sell signal here on the 5-minute and the 10-minute. If this here closes, then great. If it doesn't, then we got to wait for it to close. However, we have news coming up over here in the next 3 minutes. So we're probably not going to be looking for entry there. 10-minute here has about 2 minutes left on it. We need this sell signal here to close. So once we have this closed, we can look for the sell on the 1. But at the moment, this here still has not closed yet. We have about 1:50. All right, 1:30. All right, this is going to be the longest 1:30 for today. We're just pretty much waiting for this to confirm. You know, we need this candle here to close strong. If it closes strong, then we'll probably get that sell signal on the 5-minute and 10-minute. If it doesn't close strong, then we're probably not going to get it. We're going to have to wait even longer for the next 10 minutes to provide us that sell signal. We got about 1 minute left. I'm hoping this thing just stays down. Got about 50 seconds. We're like a minute away from the high impact news that's coming up in about a minute. So we have high impact news coming up here at 7. It's inflation news. I'm not expecting inflation news to be good. So technically we're expecting it to be lower, but price doesn't necessarily line up with that. I mean, price might just get manipulated to the upside over here once news comes up. So we got 20 seconds left on this candle right here. I want price to push down a little bit heavier here on the 1 minute so we can get the sell signal. However, we have about 10 seconds left to need this to push down a little more to get that sell signal. All right, this is perfect. Candle's about to close and we have that sell signal. All right, so it looks like we're pretty much solid right here, guys. As you can see right here, price is dumping pretty heavy. It's doing exactly what I just said. I said I was expecting price to close low because inflation news is coming out and I wasn't expecting the inflation news to be positive, right? So it did exactly what we were anticipating. Everything here lined up. This is perfect. We can now start looking for a sell. So I'm going to mark up news price right here. Mark up news price right here, and looks like we're good to go with these sells if and when they do come up. All right, guys, solid. So now that we have this lined up over here, let me go over my analysis again, right? So we're going to start off with the 10-minute. For the 10-minute over here, we want to confirm the trend and momentum. So right here, price is below the pivots. The trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. They're spread out. This is going to confirm a downtrend on the 10-minute. Also, looking over here at momentum, we have a sell signal on this candle right here, right? So if we have a sell signal right here, this is going to confirm that we have a bearish momentum, meaning that momentum is aiming to the downside. So over here on the 10-minute, we have a sell overall. We have an overall direction for a sell with regard to trend and momentum. So once we have that right there, we're fine. We don't have to look at the 10 anymore for right now. Going back over here to the 5, we want to look for the same thing. We have price below the pivots. Trend meter is red, pivots are angling down, they're spread out. And then on top of that, we have a sell signal right here. So with that confirming, we have an overall sell direction bias for the 10-minute and the 5-minute. Since we have that confirmed, we can now look on the 1 minute for entry. So looking over here for the same exact thing, you want to confirm the overall direction for sell with regard to trend and momentum. So over here on the 1 minute, same thing, right? Price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down and they're spread out. So this is also going to confirm that we have an overall sell bias for all 3 time frames. Now, all we need here is a sell momentum signal, and then we can take an entry for a scalp to the downside. We don't have that here right now. So what we're looking for is retracement. Now that we have the direction set, we're looking for price to retrace up. And once it retraces up, we can catch it on its way down. So prices drop right here. We're looking for it to retrace up, and then we're looking for the continuation to the downside right there, so that we can take an entry here for a short. So simple as that, guys. As you can see, pretty much our analysis here, it's a waiting game. It's really waiting for everything to line up. Now that you have everything lined up, you can possibly look for a sell here. The only problem that we have here that can arise is if the 5-minute over here provides a buy signal. If it provides a buy signal, then we have to go back to the 5-minute, right? Because there's no longer a direction confluence across the time frames. So right now we're perfectly fine. We're just looking for retracement here on the 1-minute and then continuation down. However, if this changes here, then we have to go back to the 5-minute. And then once we have the confirmation, we can go back to the 1. So we're looking for a sell here. Basically, this kind of pattern to come up. That's exactly what we're looking for. We don't have that yet. I have my alert set up. So when we do get an alert for a buy signal, we'll let that retrace up. And then we'll catch it on its way back down. So, all right, guys. Now it's just a matter of waiting for this to confirm. Hey, Kai, how's it going? Hey, Douglas, morning. All right, so it looks like we're just waiting for this to confirm here, guys. Once we have the confirmation, we can take this for our entry. But yeah, we just got to sit tight. It's only 7 o'clock, so we have about an hour till 8. So there's no rush, no need to force anything. It's just a matter of waiting for that retracement. Once we have the confirmation of retracement, we wait for it to come back down, and then we ride this back down into profit. Nice. Yeah, Maddie said he was going to take the SR, would have made some fat profit, but didn't FOMO into it, stuck to the rules. Yeah, no, that's key, Maddie. I know there's a lot of entries here that you possibly would have wanted to take applying any of the other strategies, but it is risky, right? Because price keeps bouncing around. Here on the 1-minute, we have a pending buy signal. This is just going to confirm retracement. So we actually want that buy signal here to close. We don't care about any of these over here because everything's lined up. But here on the 1-minute, we actually want the buy signal to close because that's going to confirm retracement. Once we have retracement, we can look for the continuation back down. So we need that buy signal here. If we get a buy signal here on the 1, that's going to confirm that price has retraced. So this right here, we actually want this to close. We want it to close so it can confirm retracement so that when it comes back down from that point, we can take our sell entry and ride this back down to correction. Nice. Looks like some of you guys here did take some pre-market, or not pre-market. You guys took some trades here off my analysis. Looking over here at Barack. So Barack over here took this trader. He took something pre-market. Made some pretty nice profit right there, about 10,103. Nice. Solid profit right there, Barack. David over here as well. He said choppy opening market, locked in some small profits. So nice work over here on David's side. David locked in a total profit 149 for the day. Nice work, David. Maddie over here as well. Maddie's currently up 688 on his account, all wins, no losses. Nice work right there, Maddie. And then his second account over here, he's up 238. Small loss right there, but wins across the board. So solid profits right there, Maddie. Lastly, we have Narith over here. Narith took the sell pre-market, locked in a total profit of 5,045 for the day. So he took this right before opening candle at like right prior to it. So nice work right there, Narith. All right, guys. So great work so far. I haven't taken any trades. No official trades have been taken. So don't worry, you haven't missed anything. Some of those trades right there are just trades taken off the online analysis right here or pre-market, depending on like when they took those entries. We need this buy signal here to close on the 1-minute. Once we get that, we can start looking for sells. But until we get that, there's no opportunity for entry just yet. So just looking back over here on the 5 and 10, we still have a sell bias with regard to trend and momentum. Prices below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down, they're spread out. We have a sell signal here on the 5, sell signal on the 10. This is both going to confirm sell bias. We just need a buy signal here on the 1 to confirm the retracement. Once we have that, we can start looking for entry. So this is all checked off here. Now we're back on the 1 and we're just waiting for this to confirm retracement so that we can look for the entry to the downside. So it's just a matter of patience, guys. You know, we've been waiting here for about what, 30 minutes now? 30 minutes confirm the direction for a sell. Now we just need to confirm our actual entry over here on the 1 minute. Nice. Maddie over here caught a quick scalp entry. So if you guys are taking that, it's a quick little profit right there. Yeah, Maddie said MFF is giving him less profit. No surprise there. Yeah, so if you guys take a quick scalp right there, hit TP. It's not one of the strategies we're looking at, but if you guys were applying the quick scalp, it did hit right there. We had a high right there, sell momentum. Wick showed right there. That's where your sell entry would have been made. Full TP. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, Peter said that a buy signal closed on the 1 minute at 7:04 on currency.com. Yeah, so it looks like you might be getting a little head start on currency.com right there. Peter, if you guys are following that. I'm going to stick to YM because I've been using this for a while. But yeah, Peter did confirm that a buy signal did close on currency.com. So possible entry off that. If price does swing, down a little bit. See, Owen over here said, hey, Sean, really appreciate these videos and for helping stay profitable over the weeks. Yeah, no, definitely, Owen. And I'm glad to see you here in the group too. So glad to see a lot of you guys here, new faces, old faces, returning faces. The chat here on the YouTube has been closed for a long time. I just reopened it recently so that you guys can, partake in our conversations here during these live sessions. So yeah, no, glad to see that. And thanks for that as well, Owen. Looking over here, Maddie sent me some more profits. So Maddie over here locked in 1,193. As you guys see right here, he took the sell. That was the entry that I marked up over here for the high-low quick scalp. It's not one of the official strategies that we're applying here on the live session since we're only focusing on two main strategies here. But if you guys know any of my other strategies and you guys are applying it, you guys are more than welcome to take those trades, right? Maddie over here took it himself, locked in a total profit of 1,193 for the day. So solid work right there, Maddie. And then his other account over here currently up 593. As he mentioned right here, MFF is giving him less profits. And yeah, it gave him like $200 less, which is normal. MFF is known for doing that. I feel like they execute trades late purposely, but it is what it is. You got to deal with their rules because it is their funding company. You can't really argue it. And I'm pretty sure if you tell them something, they're just going to give you some lame excuse, which they have before. I still personally use MFF. I think they're okay. I think they're fine, but you are going to get cut short on most of your trades. Because like even for my trades here, my account over here reset for the week for social trader tools. But if you guys saw my profits from last week, you guys can see that my MFFs were actually a lot less. So here's my FTMO, made 4,800 last week, 5,000 off my other FTMO. And then my MFFs over here, I'm down like $300, right? It's always going to be less because I don't know. It's their execution times. They execute later than FTMO and TFF. But the thing with them is they still pay out. So that's the thing that I'm okay with. They still pay out. It's just they're not really reliable with their execution times. Some more profits over here from Patricia. Nice work, Patricia. She's currently at 4,900 for the day. So it looks like you had all wins and no losses this morning. Pretty solid way to kick off the trading week, Patricia. So we'll see if we get some more here. Here's her other account. She's currently up 1,528. So not bad, Patricia. Across both your accounts, you're at 4,900 off this one, and then 1,528 off this one right here. So great work, guys. Looks like you guys take a lot of pre-market trades and probably just trades off my analysis here on the live session. But again, no official trades at the moment. We currently have a buy signal here. So now I'm looking for the sell signal to provide me an entry. As I was mentioning before, guys, I'm only focusing on two strategies here on the live session for our scalps. I'm looking at the high-low momentum pivot scalp, and then I'm also looking at the momentum scalp strategy. The reason why I brought it down to only two strategies here is because I want to avoid any confusion that you guys may have with entering these trades here, right? Because the problem is I have a lot of strategies. I have about 20 strategies that you can apply. If you guys know the strategies and you guys have practiced them and you guys have access to the indicators, then there's no problem because you guys can apply them on your own by yourselves. However, on these live sessions here, I don't want you guys to get confused and mix up the strategies because that's typically what happens. If I'm applying like 5 or 6 different strategies, and you guys don't know what those strategies are, you guys are not going to know what to follow along with. So I'm just focusing on 2 strategies here so that you guys know exactly what to apply and when. For some reason, my text button here isn't providing. I'm having issues over here with my MC4 for some reason. I was going to put the requirements here for the momentum. Okay, I can't put the requirements here, guys. There's something wrong with my trading view, but it's okay. So we're just focusing on 2 main strategies here. Let me take a look at NASDAQ. So I'm gonna look at the other popular assets that you guys trade. I don't personally trade NASDAQ, but I'll see if there's any possible entries here that you guys could take or could have taken, along the way. So looking over here on the 10-minute, there's no alignment. So on the 5-minute here and 10-minute, we have a bearish trend, but there's no alignment with momentum. We have a sell momentum here, so this is fine. And then we have a pending sell momentum here on the 10-minute. So once this closes here, you can possibly look for sells here on NASDAQ, but until this closes, no entry. No entry here on the 1-minute, so don't worry, we're not missing anything for US30. Looking over here at S&P. Basically, actually the S&P is okay over here. So right here, we have a sell bias with regard to trend, sell bias with regard to momentum. So downtrend, momentum for a sell right there, momentum for a sell there. So if you want to look for an entry for a sell here on the 1-minute, you would just be waiting for a sell signal to come up here. Looking over here at gold, and a lot of you guys like to trade gold. Same thing here, right? So as you guys can see, the same strategy could be applied to, literally whatever asset you want to scalp on. You guys got to make sure that it's a highly volatile asset so that you can take these quick scalps in and out. Same here on the 10-minute. So you can see we have a downtrend here. Price is below the pivots, price below the pivots, trend meter's red, pivots are angling down. So across the board right here, it's obviously in a downtrend. We have a sell momentum right here as well. Sell signal, and sell signal right here. So if you guys took this sell over here for gold, you could have rode this down for a quick profit. I personally don't trade gold because the lot sizing is different between brokers. But if you did take this trade right here, full TP. This happened right here at about 6:48, about 10, 20 minutes ago. So you could have taken that trade there. There's actually another one right before it too, right over here. Could have taken either sell straight to full TP. So it's up to you guys what you guys want to apply. Okay, we have a pending entry right here, guys, on the 1. Perfect. Price just can't retrace up to the news price. If it retraces up to the news price, definitely no entry. So what you want to wait for here, guys, on US30 is you want to wait for this to actually close. You need the sell signal here to close, and sell signal cannot come up and touch the news price. If it touches the news price, then it's going to be considered a red flag, and you can't take that entry there. So price came up and touched the news price. So even if we get a sell entry here, we can't take the entry because price came up and touched the news price right here. It's going to fall under a red flag. Red flag, obviously avoid trades when price is near the news price. So we had a possible entry right there, but price came up and touched the news price. So I'm hoping this does not close with the sell signal because we can't take the entry there even if it closed. All right, so on to the next one right here. We have another opportunity. We need a sell signal here to close, but it can't come up and touch the news price. If it touches the news price, again, right there, it touched the news price, red flag. So we can't take an entry off this here either. All right, kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. We just gotta wait again for this here to provide entry for us. This is where discipline really comes in the most, guys, because I know a lot of people are probably getting FOMO and they want to enter a trade here, but I'm going to follow my rules here and I'm going to avoid trades when price is near sessions, opening price, or news price, which is where it's currently at right now. So no entry for me to take right here. I'm hoping this doesn't close with the sell signal. If it closes, then it's going to be a long wait for another sell signal to come up. Hey, what's up, T? How's it going? All right, no sell signal there. Again, we're looking for the same thing, sell signal pending right here, but it can't come up and touch the news price. So you can see here where price is being manipulated, right? Whenever price comes up and touches the news price, you can see where price wicks directly off it. This is like huge manipulation right here, right? It just keeps getting manipulated over and over and over again. This is why you don't want to trade around that area, because if you're taking a sell here, price can easily shift up and stop you out. Or if you take a buy here, price can easily bounce right off it and stop you out in that direction as well. So there's no direction set here. It's not really looking so hot. But again, no sell entry. So now we just got to wait for that sell signal to come up. It's fine if price bounces around here. But we're really looking for that sell signal. So until we get that, no entry for us to take at the moment. Hey, Christopher, how's it going, man? Morning. Yeah, you know, a little late, but you made it right in time. We were pretty much waiting for the confirmation of the overall direction anyway. So you made it just right on time. For right here on the 10, we were waiting for that sell signal. This finally came up, you know, about 10, 20 minutes ago. Same with the 5 over here. Now we're just looking for actual entry. So again, if you guys are just joining the room over here, we're applying 2 different strategies, the momentum scalp and high-low momentum pivot scalp. In order to confirm these entries here, we first need to confirm the overall direction on the 5 and 10 minute. As you can see right here, these are both aligned. We have price below the pivots. We have the trend meter red. We have the pivots angling down. This is going to confirm a downtrend across these 2 time frames. Lastly, we have a sell signal here on the 5, sell signal here on the 10. This is also going to confirm bearish momentum on both sides as well. So we have momentum for a sell, trend for a sell. Now we move down to the 1 minute over here, and all we need is a sell signal. Once we get that sell signal, we can take that quick entry right there and ride it to TP. So, all right, it's got to wait for the sell signal to come. We can't have it touching news price though, so it is touching news price right there. I'm hoping there's no sell signal that closes right here, because if we do, it's going to invalidate our entry. It's going to be a red flag. So we got about 30 seconds left on this candle. We need this there to close. Once it closes, we can continue on for that sell and then ride this down for an entry. Yeah, no problem, Christopher. All right, so we got about 15 seconds left on this candle right here. I'm hoping it stays a little far away from the news price, but I'm just hoping it doesn't provide a sell signal, because if it does, it's going to invalidate our entry. Got about 5 seconds left on this candle right here. Oh my God, man, this is so annoying. It's annoying, but I'm glad that it's doing this, because it's showing you guys that it is, so this gives you a clear example why we don't trade around this area, right? I keep trying to tell you guys, like, there's areas where you shouldn't trade, and this is a clear example. So you can see right here where there's no direction, right? Price just keeps coming back and testing the news price. So this is an important price point where you should pay attention to. You shouldn't take any entries here, because obvious reason, price just keeps consolidating around this area, keeps faking out, pushes up, fakes out, pushes down, fakes out, pushes up, fakes out. Price can really push in either direction. It can push up, it can push down, right? So this is why you want to avoid it. And this is why I keep this on my list of red flags here, obviously, right? Because I don't want to get caught in this area where price can really go either way and then screw me over, right? So now price is below it. Hopefully we get an entry now. So we got possible entry right here. If this closes with the sell signal, we just got to make sure it doesn't come up and touch the news price right there. Everything here is still lined up for a sell on the 10, sell on the 5. We just need a sell signal here to close, and we got to make sure that it doesn't come and touch the news price. And again, it did. So again, right there, it just continues to give you an example there why not to trade at these horizontal lines. Don't trade at this blue line. Don't trade at this pink line. Don't trade at this purple line. Don't trade at any of the lines that go across the screen. So any lines here that go left to right, don't take any trades around those areas, because you'll get caught in an area like this where you're going to be sweating you're literally going to be sweating the entire trade. Because what will happen here is if your stop loss is like 300 pips, it's going to get really close to your stop loss and close to your TP. So it's going to keep bouncing around, and you're going to be super worried about your position all throughout this whole time. So This is the main reason why we avoid trades at these price points. Let's take a look at the overall direction again. So let's go to the 4 hour. Still bullish. 1 hour, still neutral. 30-minute bearish. A 15-minute bearish. 10-minute bearish. So everything here still lines up. As you can see, there's no direction here. You know, what I'm just hoping for here is that price actually moves in a direction, because what will happen here is if price continues to consolidate, we might get a buy signal here on the 5, and then it's going to screw up our whole overall direction, right? Because we currently have a sell direction right here. But if we get a buy signal here on the 5, then we have to move up from the 1 minute to the 5, and we have to wait for this to confirm before we can take an entry. So there's no direction here on the 1 minute. As you can see, price is really just going sideways. Realistically, you know, if you drew a zone right here, you can see that price is literally going nowhere. Just consolidating right there. But the good thing about this is that since price is just consolidating like this, it's preparing for a breakout. So price is due to break out to the upside or break out to the downside. It's just a matter of time until it happens, but eventually it's going to happen. So this is really going to test your patience and discipline, waiting for that confirmation. What I'm hoping for here is we don't get a buy signal on the 5. You know, as I mentioned, if we get a buy signal here on the 5, it's going to screw up our overall direction, and we're just going to have to wait for another sell signal to come up. All right, so we got price over here kind of bouncing around. I was hoping we get at least one entry right here, but it did not provide us with that confirmation. So looking over here, retail sentiment dropped a little bit, Maddie mentioned. Retail sentiment is now 68% short. So if you guys don't know how to use retail sentiment right here, this pretty much indicates where all the retail traders are trading with regard to this broker, IG, which is one of the bigger brokers that a lot of people use worldwide. This shows you that 68% of traders are currently selling US30 right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy long term, but for the short term, we can still sell. This just indicates where a lot of these retail traders are currently holding their positions in the long term. So that's probably why we're getting kind of these fake outs right here. Price dropped, people kind of chased the bandwagon to sell here. Price came up, and then now it pretty much stopped those people out, and it's probably making its way right back down. So just got to be a bit patient here, guys. This is the worst part about trading. It's really sitting there and waiting for entry, right? This is the time where a lot of people make mistakes. So you just got to make sure that you be patient. You wait for something to actually come up, because if you don't, then this can easily shift into a really bad trade for you. So patience is key, guys. I feel like the problem with most people is that they don't have the patience to wait for quality entries. And you can see right here, this is obviously testing your patience, right? Because you've been waiting for the sell entry for some time now, and now the 5 minute has provided a buy signal. So unfortunately, we don't have we don't have opportunity for entry right now on the 1 minute. Now that we have a buy signal here on the 5, there's no longer going to be confluence with the 5 and the 10. So we're back to step 2. Step 1 was confirm the overall direction here on the 10. We have the overall direction here for a sell. 5 minute, we need this to confirm that it aligns with the 10 minute. It currently does not align. As you can see, we have a buy signal here. So this here does not confirm that we have a sell bias at all. This confirms that we have a sell trend. So we have a trend here for a downtrend, but we don't have the bullish momentum, or bearish momentum, actually. So you guys can see here how this, let me just enlarge this for you guys. Right here, you can see that price is trending down. Reason for that is because price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are leaning down, and they're spread out. The only problem here is that we have a buy signal. This buy signal is going to be a retracement signal, right? Because price is against the trend. So in order for us to take an entry here, we need price to come back down. When price comes back down, it'll provide a sell entry. Once we have that sell entry, we can start looking for some more sells on the 1 minute, but we currently don't have that right now. So at the moment, we're back to back to the drawing boards. Yeah, let's see. Kevin said price may be reversing. Last 3 5-minute candles have printed green. Yeah, no, and I can see that too, Kevin. So if that's the case right there, where price ends up reversing, well, that's perfectly fine because we just need to confirm it on the 10 too. So we don't care what's going on the 1 minute over here. We care about what's going on here on the 5 and on the 10 here. If we get a buy signal over here, then this could confirm that we're starting to reverse to the upside. So that's fine. You can see here I mean, pretty much all these time frames, there hasn't really been too much movement. We had this movement right here on open. So price kind of just dropped a bit, faked out, came right back up. And if that's a case where price is setting up for a possible reversal, then we just got to wait for that confirmation. It's just going to be longer and it's going to be more time consuming for us to catch that. But it's perfectly fine because we're going to go with what the market gives us, right? We're not going to force anything. We're not going to try to squeeze anything in that's not really there. We just need to confirm it on these time frames. Once we confirm it, we can look for possible entry. But yeah, no, thanks for your input, Kevin. I could see that too. It's just that's kind of like I don't mind that happens, but it's just going to be more time consuming because we got to wait for this to actually shift. So if we get that reversal on the 10-minute over here, I'm going to wait for it. I would have to wait for it to do this, right? Push up, retrace, and continue. So that's what we would need here on the 10. And same with the 5. We'd have to actually wait for this to push up, retrace, and continue. So this is going to take like a long time for it to happen, if and when it does happen. So I don't mind that this happens, but it is going to be a lot more of a waiting game if we have to wait for that. I mean, but either way, I'm not going to force anything. Today's Monday. It's not a day to really take any risky entries. You really got to play your cards right, especially on a Monday, because you don't know where price is going. However, if price comes back down, then that's fine with me too. I mean, either way, I'm fine. It's just, I'm just antsy to take my first trade, right, for the week. I'm sure a lot of you guys get that feeling too sometimes. If you guys have been pretty much waiting all week in a trade and then you just want to get that first trade in and get your feet wet. I was hoping we'd get one pretty much early on, but we didn't really have that opportunity over here. I mean, we technically could have taken the sell over here, but it was close to news price and just wasn't a good time to take entry. All right, looks like price might be coming down, Kevin. So we'll see over here. Our main focus, again, as I mentioned, is the 5-minute, right? The 10-minute is fine. This is still confirming a sell bias. We have the sell trend here. We have a sell momentum. We just need a sell signal to come up over here on the 5. Once we get that, then we're cool. Because it's still in the downtrend. So downtrend for the 10, downtrend for the 5, downtrend for the 1. We need that sell signal here on the 5. Once we get that, then we're good. Yeah, see, Kevin said it bounced near the 34,000 whole number. Yeah, no, definitely. It's like an institutional price point. But the trend is bearish. So this push up could just be to lure in buyers. Yeah, and I agree with you 100%, Kevin. So this is why you guys want to wait for that overall direction, because like what Kevin mentioned over here is that like price over here bounced off an institutional price, right? Like 34,000. That's typically where like a lot of algorithms trade. They like to trade off these like whole numbers. They treat them as like support resistance. So bounced directly off this area here, price pushed up. It basically lured in some buyers to like trap them right there. And now price is coming right back down. So I prefer to come back down because I don't want to wait for it to swing back up. It's just a long wait for price to actually shift, right? If we have to wait for that shift, we're probably not going to have an entry for today. But, you know, I'm not opposed to it. Like, again, I'm not forcing any trades here. I'm looking for what the market's going to give me. Right now, market's giving me a sell, but I need that confirmation. So, yeah, exactly. Kevin said this whole area sucks, which I agree 100%. So I'm kind of annoyed because here on the 1 minute, there was a lot of possible entries that could have came up, But now it's like in the middle of all these red flags. Like we can't take trades anywhere around here. There's news price, opening price, and news price right here. So I need price to actually be like way down here. Not super far down, but like way down here for me to take some sells. Because if we get a sell up here, it's not going to be a good area to trade because we have all of these red flags here that we want to avoid, right? We don't want to trade here. We don't want to trade here. And we also don't want to trade here. So it's a bunch of red flags right there. All right, so our main focus is the 5 minute. We still have the sell here on the 10. We're just looking here on the 5. I need that sell signal to close here. If price shifts up, that's fine, but I'm mainly looking for this to come back down from this point. But this whole area, you know, like Kevin said, sucks. It's just not a good area to trade in. So the waiting game continues. It is 7:30 right now, guys. So if we don't get an entry from now until 8, I'll stay online with you guys till maybe about 8:30. If we don't have anything from then we're just going to wrap it up. But we still have a pretty good amount of time. So price hasn't completely shifted here on the 1 minute. I'm hoping this is a fake out. So I'm hoping they're just luring in some buyers right here. And the reason why I want that is because if you look down here, there's a lot of areas of liquidity. It's basically building up liquidity right here for when price is ready to come back down. All right. So the reason why I identify this as liquidity is because if people are chasing these buys, where are they placing their stop loss, right? I know exactly where their stop losses are. Stop losses are placed right here at this swing low. Stop losses are placed right here at this swing low. So if price shifts to the downside and it stops these people out, right, we're getting a huge blast of momentum straight down here. It's going to go for a stop loss hunt. So I'm still banking on the sell here, but if it doesn't provide us that entry, then that's perfectly fine. But if it does come down, I'm going to be ready for that entry when it does confirm. Okay, we have an issue here now on the 10. We have this pending buy signal. If this happens, then price might be shifting back to the upside, like Kevin mentioned earlier. We got about 4 minutes left on this 10-minute candle. If this closes here, then we have to start looking on the higher time frames again, because we have to wait for this shift to confirm with regard to the trend, or we can wait for it to come back down. Currently right now, not really much for us to look at, but that can change in a matter of moments here. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. We don't really have much to look at right now. We're just waiting for confirmation here with regard to overall direction. Until we get that, we can't really take any entries. So if you guys have any questions or want me to cover anything specific, if there's any confusion, if you guys need help with anything, just pop your question in the chat and I can help you guys out. We really don't have anything to take right here, because the 10 minutes pending for possible reversal. 5 minute over here is attempting to reverse. The 1 minute over here is already reversing, but we can't take any entries at this point because there's too many red flags. There's a news price right there, opening price, news price down here. So basically just waiting for this right here, the 10 minutes to provide the confirmation. We have about 3 minutes left on this candle. If it closes with the buy signal, then that's perfectly fine. It's just gonna give us a lot of waiting time for price to shift up here, retrace and continue, right? Because if this is the case where we get a buy signal on the 10, then now we're going to have to wait for the trend to actually shift to the upside. Technically, if you're applying the strategy, like not the updated way of applying it, you can technically take a trade based off momentum, but it's not necessarily one I really recommend, because I do like trading the direction of the trend. So I wouldn't necessarily take any shortcuts. I would just wait for it to actually, confirm its direction. All right, we got 2 minutes left on this 10-minute candle over here. Just got to sit tight and wait. All right. Still got that pending signal here on the 10, 2 minutes left on the candle. Yeah, I actually don't mind it too much now. Now that price is kind of pushed up a bit and we've had like this slow movement to the upside, I don't mind reversal here. I also don't mind if price comes back down. Either way, I'll be waiting for this entry with all of you guys here. So we still have the sell bias here. We don't have that buy signal that's closed here on the 10. So let's wait for this candle here to close. We got about 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the candle. Once the candle closes, we can make our decision for what to look for next. So we've got 1:30 on this 10-minute. The main thing I'm focusing on is whether this candle here closes with a buy signal or not. If it closes with a buy signal, then we got to wait for the price to swing to the upside. If it doesn't, then we can go back to the 5-minute, right? So let's see what this gives us right here. Got about 1 minute left. Let me check the news. I want to make sure there's nothing else coming on today to surprise us. Yeah, there's no other news here on Forex Factory. I think there's news here at 8:30 though on my FX book. Yeah, there's news over here, 3-month bill auction, 6-month bill auction. They're not high impact though, so I'm not expecting them to really push price anywhere. Any updates with CNBC? Yeah, no updates here either. All right, so we got 30 seconds left on this 10-minute candle. This here is going to provide us the confirmation we need, whether we're looking for that reversal or if we're looking for price to correct back to the downside. Got about 15 seconds left. So this buy signal is going to make the determination whether we're going to look for a sell or whether we're going to look for a buy. And it closed. All right. So unfortunately, this wasn't what I was hoping for, but we have a buy signal here. Okay. So looking over here on the 10, we have a buy signal. This indicates that momentum is going to the upside. 5-minute, we have the same thing, buy signal right here. This both indicates that price has momentum going to the upside on these two time frames, right? The only problem here is that it's still in a sell trend, right? We have a downtrend over here on the 10-minute. The reason for that is because price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. Same with the 5-minute over here. Price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. So the problem with this here is that we need to figure out whether this 10-minute here is a retracement signal or if it's an actual reversal. Because you can see the last time it happened right here, right? We had a buy signal come up right here and then price came right back down. So this was just a retracement signal and then it continued back to the downside. That could be the same case here where we have a buy signal, but the next sell signal here can confirm the retracement. As you can see, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. There's not really any direction that's really set at all. Price kind of just goes back and forth, right? Even here on the 1-minute, you can see that there's no direction. It's just in a big range. So price is literally just going sideways right here. It's not really much to look at or confirm. It's literally just going sideways. So a couple different scenarios here that we can look at. There's obviously no direction set here. So we can't really confirm anything because the trend is still down. Trend is going to be long-term, right? So if we look at the trend over here, we're still possibly looking for sells. So if you look over here at the overall direction of price, currently right now on the 10-minute, still bearish, right? Trend meter still red. 15-minute, still bearish as well. Trend meter still red here. 30-minute. 30-minute is now neutral. So price might be shifting, but I mean, we really don't know until it's confirmed. 1 hour, still neutral. It's been neutral for the entire session. And the 4 hour here is still bullish. So looking at that right there, bullish, neutral, neutral, bearish, bearish. Looking over here at the sentiment is currently 68% short. So it's still there. Fundamentals right now are currently down 217 points. So everything here is pretty much the same. It hasn't changed too much, just by 1 percentage point. So if you look over here at the overall direction confluences, retail sentiment indicates where the retail traders are currently trading. There's 68% of retail traders who are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy long term. So this is going to align with the buy that we're looking for here. Fundamentals are currently still down 200 points. So this still confirms that price is bearish. So these are conflicting. This here is going to indicate to take a buy. This is indicating to take a sell. Looking at the overall trend over here, 4 hours bullish. The long term we're looking for a buy. 1 hour is neutral, so there's no real direction there. 30-minute also neutral, and the short-term time frames here, 15-minute and 10-minute are bearish. So there's really no direction here. I mean, you can really go either way. Long term, you can look for a buy. Short term, you can look for a sell. But until that has really aligned, there's really no direction to really focus on at the moment. So yeah, it's just going to be a matter of waiting here. The 5 minute is starting to shift to the upside. So this is fine. You can see on the 1 minute, the trend here is now shifted to a bullish trend. Price is above the pivots, trend meters green. Pivots are angling up and they're spread out. Same with the 5 over here. So the 5 minute price is still below the pivots, but if price ends up shifting to the upside over here, retraces and continues, then this is going to confirm that it's in an uptrend, right? So we need this to, we're now going backwards. So before we were going from 5, 10, 5 to 1. Now we're going back from 1, 5 to 10 because we're looking for a price to reverse in the opposite direction. Whenever there's a reversal, it goes from lower time frame to higher time frame. When there's a continuation, you're looking from higher time frame to lower time frame because you already have the direction set. The difference here is now price is reversing the other way. So you're looking from short term to now long term. So we need this to happen here on the 5. Once this happens here, we're going to confirm it here on the 10. And then our new direction and bias is going to change. Me personally, I'm still looking for a sell bias here because we don't have the confirmation yet, right? This can just be a retracement. So for me personally, I'm still looking for a sell here. I'm looking for this to come back down. However, if this here starts to shift, say that because the 5 year is going to be the middle ground. If this here starts to shift back to the upside like that, then that's going to change my thinking. Because right now, this still looks like a sell to me on the 10. This still looks like a sell to me on the 5. Price hasn't reached above the pivots. So until that happens, I'm not looking for any buys here. It's just going to be a matter of like more patience at this point because there's not really much for us to do. I mean, we have to wait for some sort of direction before we can take entry. But I mean, who knows how long that'll take, right? It's 7:45 right now, so we have a lot of time. Well, we don't have a lot of time. We have about 15 minutes till 8, and then we have maybe about 45 minutes till 8:30. 8:30 is my cutoff. So if I don't see any entries by 8:30, I'm done for the day. So I'm hoping we get some sort of direction set here, in the next 30 minutes or so. See, Kevin said he thinks it's a retracement until it gets past the 200 period MA. Yeah, no, and I can see that too, Kevin. I think your 200 period might line up sort of with my pivots over here, right? Actually, I can add that to my chart. So let's see. I'll add that to this chart right here, moving average. So 200. Gosh, yeah, yours is actually a lot higher. So yours might line up with my 10-minute over here. So this is Kevin's 200 MA point. It's a lot higher. Let me go over here to the 10-minute. Actually, it's not going to line up with here on the 5, but let me go over here on the 10. All right, just toss that on the chart real quick. Yeah, no, it does. It's a lot closer here on the 10. Yeah, no, Kevin said he uses a 20, 50, and 200. Yeah, no, I used to use those too before. So when I first started trading, those are like those are like the main numbers that a lot of people use. I used to use that as well, but then I started tweaking them. That's kind of how I created the pivots over here. I created my sweet spots to identify short term since I scalp. But yeah, the 200 is a key. I used to use this for everything. Um, it's really helpful if you align this with like whole numbers, because this can help you exponential. Okay. Yeah, exponential is a lot faster. I don't know if it shifted at all. You know what? I don't know how this even works here, because the length you can set it to is like 200. Yeah, I think this is EMA. I mean, either way, it's around the same area. I know the SMA is a lot slower. The EMA is actually a lot faster. So I prefer the EMA. So I agree with you, Kevin. Let's see. Fernand said, I got a question on Telegram. Sure, let me pull up Telegram real quick. So Fern's asking, when you enter your trades, do you use MT4 or can you do it on TradingView and it copies to other platforms? So there is a way to do that. For me personally, I execute my trades on MT4 because I want to be direct, right? I want to like know exactly when I enter the trade. There is a way to execute your trades through TradingView, but I wouldn't do it for scalping because those trades happen so quickly, right? You're like a split second away from missing the trade or from getting in a little late. So yeah, Fern, you can enter trades on TradingView and then it'll copy to your MT4, but then you have like that gap in between, right? Because you have to execute on here and then it has to transfer over. So for scalping, I wouldn't personally do it. Like, you want to be right on point with your entries. But for like swing trading and intraday trading, you can do that. There's platforms and tools for that. Let me see if I could find. I actually sent it to my brother the other day because I saw it. What I was going to do is I was going to automate my strategies and then just execute them, because I can create a script here where I can just automate my strategies. However, for scalping, it's not really it's not one that I'd recommend. So it's called TradingView IO. I haven't personally used it myself. My brother uses it. So my brother knows how to code. He knows how to code his own indicators and set that up. But there's this website called TradingView IO. Actually, no, this isn't the website. It's called 3 commas. Sorry. So yeah, right here you can see 3 commas. It's a flexible tool for customizing your strategy. And then you can basically set it up where it just automatically. So you can set a signal here on TradingView, and then your bot here will take the trade automatically on TradingView and it'll copy it over to your MT4. So this is a platform you can use. Use webhooks. You can look up videos for it, but it is a little complicated. It does take some learning. There's a learning curve there that you have to get into to actually understand how to use this. But this is a platform that you can use. You have to pay for it too, so that's another issue. But yeah, you can set up your chart here to pretty much take trades, and then these trades will copy over to your MT4. But I don't do that because I scalp, so not necessarily one that I would recommend for scalping. If you want to intraday trade, you can do that though, because you have time in between to take trades. So if it executes like a second late or a couple of seconds late, or maybe even a half second, it's not a big deal. But for scalping, it is a big deal. Like, speed is everything for these types of entries. Let's see. Yeah, no, Barack said he also uses the same thing that you use, Kevin. He used the 20, 50, 200. Yeah, I used to do that as well, but I mean, I personally don't use it anymore. I feel like for that's good for like long-term direction. Like if you're looking for rejection, like you're looking for really strong structure points for rejection, that's good. But I don't really care about those price points, right? Because I'm looking for the short term. So for me personally, I don't use it anymore. I used to use it a long time ago, but I personally don't use it anymore. I also like keeping my charts kind of clean. So it's useful. It's definitely very useful, but I personally don't use it myself anymore. Let's see. Yeah, Kevin said he's used pretty much all trading platforms out there for him. If you scalp Forex, MetaTrader is the best platform in his opinion. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Kevin. Same here. Yeah, no. And Kevin said he doesn't use the moving averages like everyone else does. Yeah, no, same here. And it's exactly how I created my indicators as well, right? I did the same thing, right? Everyone uses the moving averages for the same reason. But Kevin over here uses it differently. I mean, the moving averages can be used for a lot of things. It can be used to identify direction. It can be used to identify rejection points, trend, etc. It just depends on what you use it for. I used to use it for all of them, but not necessarily anymore because I don't like trading like everybody else. All right, so price is coming back down. This is actually a good sign because I didn't want to wait for it to shift to the upside. So looking over here on the 10-minute, what I'm waiting for is a sell signal. I need a sell signal here to close on the 10. I need a sell signal here to close on the 5. And then once I have that, we can possibly ride this down. So here's my my assumption. If we have a sell signal here on the 10, I'm expecting price to come all the way down to this low over here. This is going to be target price point. The only thing is that we have to wait for it to actually close. So once we get that, we got to wait for it to make its way down. Yeah, Maddie said a trend shift would have taken forever. Yeah, and I agree, Maddie. I think if we had to wait for that trend shift, we probably wouldn't have an entry today. So I'm hoping this just comes back down and corrects back to the trend that it was already at, because it's still in a downtrend here. 10 minutes in a downtrend, 5 minute as well. 1 minute here is starting to shift back down as well. So, all right, we just got to wait for it now. Some profits over here from CSUK. Let's see, CSUK's currently up 4,381 for the day. Nice work, CSUK. Not bad. All right, Maddie, I'll see you tomorrow. Gotcha. Yeah, good luck on your finals. All right, so Maddie's out for the day. I'll be on here with you guys for a while. So the longest I'll stay on here with you guys is till 8:30, right? If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. We just don't have anything here yet. The main thing that we're looking for here is either for the 10-minute to shift to the upside, or we're looking for a sell signal. So one or the other. Yeah, Kevin said he doesn't think it's coming down. He thinks it's just a pullback and it's going to continue to the upside. Yeah, no, and I could see that too, Kevin. I mean, it's been trying to shift to the upside for a while. Another reason why I think this could shift to the upside is because the overall direction is still bullish, right? So that's basically, I mean, I agree with your analysis there too. Overall direction here is still bullish. So if it does move to the upside, then it will eventually. It's just a matter of time. Retail sentiment still 68% short. Typically, we'd like to do the opposite of them. Fundamentals here are currently shifting. Let me check the fundamentals real quick. Fundamentals are still down 200 points, so it's still down pretty heavy. All right. All right, if this starts to shift up higher, I'm basically looking for the 5-minute here to close above this area. If this happens, then we can possibly look for some buys here on the 1 minute, because we're starting to get that shift here. We just don't have the full confirmation yet. So it's gonna, if we do see an entry, it's gonna be a risky entry. Okay, guys. So I want you I want to clarify that for you guys, because right here we do see price shifting to the upside. But as you can see here on the 10, it still hasn't confirmed. So the trend here is still bearish, but Momentum is pushing to the upside, so we can confirm that there's going to be possible entry for a buy. The only problem here is that it's not going to be a very strong confirmation, right? Because we still have everything trending down right here. The trend meter is probably not going to change by 8:30. We've only got about 30 minutes left on this session. So for this right here, I'm not expecting the trend meter here to shift for either the 10-minute or the 5-minute. It might shift to neutral, but for the most part, I don't think it's going to shift to green down here. The other confirmation we can use for trend would be the pivots here. If the price closes above the pivots, then that's going to confirm, a starting movement to the upside. It's not going to confirm that it's like for sure, but it's going to show that, okay, price is probably going to be shifting to the upside. So just keep that in mind. Take every trade or take every opportunity with a grain of salt, because it's not, there's really no direction set yet. We have a possible direction, but it's not strong enough to really confirm just yet. Also looking over here on the one, if you look at where prices went from open, so market open right here at this blue line, right? If you measure where price is currently at right now, realistically, price hasn't gone anywhere. It's gone up 150 pips, which is literally nothing. Just gotta wait. All right, let me check the Forex pairs, because US30 is just not it right now. So I want to see if there's any entries here possibly setting up that we can look for. Odd CHF, possible entry right here for a sell. All right, possible entry over here for a sell. For odd CHF, this closes. Let me check the other time frames here. Yeah, this could possibly be an entry. This needs to close as the actual sell signal. It's kind of a tight move though. 30 pips. Odd USD. No, nothing there. It's not bearish. Nothing there, nothing there. Euro AUD over here. No, it's too far out. Here's CHF. So this is the trade that I was talking about earlier, guys. We didn't take this trade, but we were going to call it. The only problem with this here is that it wasn't really moving directional. It's kind of bullish here, but it's not a very strong bullish bias. So this might shift back up. We'll continue to follow it. We're not in that position. I didn't call it because I didn't find it to be a good trade. Glad we didn't take it because it's being drawdown right now. Looking over here, still nothing for us to take. All right, so overall, there's still nothing here at all for us to take here. The Forex market is kind of, it's moving. It's moving, but it's not moving smoothly at all. So no Forex trades. Back to US30 over here. All right, cool. So price is starting to shift up here. You guys can see where I drew the circles. We can possibly look for buys here now. So what I'm looking for now on this side is I'm looking for a retracement. So we had price push up right here, looking for a retracement and continuation back to the upside. All right. So looking over here on the 10, you can see that the trend isn't necessarily bullish yet. It's going to shift to neutral, in a matter of time. Trend meter right here is red. I don't think this is going to change anytime soon because this takes a while for it to change. However, looking over here at the pivots, price is in between the pivots right here. So it's not necessarily below it or above it, but this here can be shifting. As I mentioned before, when you look for reversals, you do the opposite. When you're looking for continuation, you're looking from a top-down analysis, right? When you're going for reversal, you look for a bottom-up analysis because the bottom time frame, lower time frame is going to be the leading direction, right? So right here, you can see price was already shifting to the upside. 5 minute over here is starting to shift. It hasn't closed above the pivots yet, but if this here does close, then we can expect the 10 minute over here to follow. But there just isn't any direction here. And again, you can see back on the 1 minute, price is coming right back below news price, which is not where you want it because this whole area over here is a huge red flag. Like you don't want to trade anywhere down this middle area. This isn't a good area at all. There's my yawn. All right, guys. So it's just the wait. It's literally just a waiting game at this point. You can see that the market was moving today, but it didn't really move too much to a point where you can like take advantage of anything. You could have taken some, well, I mean, really, there wasn't really too much to take here because there was news. So there was news right here. So you couldn't take any of these entries around this area. This is basically the bulk of like where we've been trading throughout the day. And although price is pushing up, there's like no real direction here, right? Opening price is right here. This is the middle price point, and price just keeps on bouncing around that area. All right, the 5 minute here again didn't close above it. It's still below the pivots. We need price to make a push up right here. I don't know if anyone sees anything different, but for the most part, I'm just not really seeing too much here. Got about 20 seconds left on this 5 minute candle. If it closes above, then great. If not, then you just gotta wait for it to actually confirm. All right, we got 10 seconds left on this candle right here. Let's see how it closes. If it closes above it, then we might have a shift to the upside. If we don't, then it's probably going to consolidate a bit until we find something to confirm it. Yeah, and Kevin said, man, this sucks. I would have usually hit my daily goal by now. At least I'm halfway there. Yeah, no, definitely, Kevin, it does. I was hoping for my goal to hit too, like, 1 or 2 trades. We couldn't even get that in because price has literally been going back and forth all day today. Yeah, there hasn't been much for us to take here, or like not even any opportunities. But now looking over here on the 5, so as you guys can see, we have all right, take that back. I was going to say we had a bullish direction, but price over here came right back down. There's not really too much direction, but we'll be on our way. All right. Let's take a look at the other assets here. So looking over here at NASDAQ, I mean, everything's having the same issue right now. You can see here on the NASDAQ, price is doing the same thing. It's having trouble getting past a certain area. There's like literally no entry over here. There's a sell here that could have been taken here for NASDAQ, which would have hit TP. If you guys are looking at that. So you guys can see here that the strategies work across the board. I mean, you can use these for other assets if you wanted to. So there was a sell entry that came up over here on NASDAQ. You can see that it was a sell. We had a sell signal here, sell bias, sell bias. So it lined up, and this could have been an entry here for NASDAQ if you guys were trading it. Currently right now, it's starting to shift to the upside. It hasn't confirmed yet, but it is starting to shift to the upside. Same with S&P over here. S&P is doing the same thing. It's still trying to shift to the upside. Didn't really have any opportunities to take over here. But the last one was right here at 7:15 this morning. So a little bit earlier this morning at 7:15, there was possible entry right here. There was a sell signal, and you can see over here there was a sell bias, and sell bias is still here on the 10. So if you were to take that entry over here for S&P, I think TP would have hit like right away. Yeah. So there's a sell entry here on S&P full TP, sell entry over here on NASDAQ full TP. There's actually a sell entry running right now for, actually, never mind. It doesn't fit criteria because there's a buy signal right there. Yeah, so even with gold here, there's no direction. All right, let's take it back to US30. And it's kind of a frustrating trading day because I typically don't like to wait this long for entry. It's 8:08 right now, so we've got about like maybe 20 minutes till 8:30. So if there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we're just going to have to sit tight, wait for this right here. Nice. Yeah, Barack said, good for the day, bro. Evaded several FOMOs, and he's going to sit out till tomorrow. Thank you for the live session, Sean. Definitely, Barack. So we'll see you here tomorrow. Let's see. I'll just type it up. Not sure if you saw my response, Fern. Analysis. All right, so price is still continuing to push to the upside, but there isn't anything right now. Let's see, Eric. So let's see. Eric said, would you take the momentum scalp for a buy if the trend meter is red, but momentum signal is green on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute plus pivots are angling up? So yeah, that's the thing that I was looking for right here. That's actually what I'm looking for right now. So the trend meter here is, it's not the end all be all, right, with regard to trend, because and you can see here, it's now starting to turn blue, right? This is exactly what we were anticipating. The trend meter here is not going to dictate whether you're only looking for sells or buys, because they're using, you're going to confirm trend with pivots and also the trend meter. The pivots here are actually faster. So you can see here that we already anticipated this to shift. We just weren't confirmed, like, when it was going to actually happen, because the trend meter here is more laggy. So the thing is, when you have these two line up, pivots and the trend meter, you're going to have a better confirmation. But like you mentioned right here, that's actually what I'm waiting for. Since we do see the shifting to the upside, I would just mainly use the pivots here for my trend, not the trend meter. It'd be ideal for you to have both, but with this right here, if you can see price is shifting to the upside, and right here on the 10 minute as well, you can see how price is shifting to the upside as well, and the pivots are starting to angle to the upside on the 10 and 5 minute, then you can take a trade here on the 1 minute, but it's going to be a little more risky, right? So you don't have like full confidence with the entry, but you'll have the idea that price is actually going to be going up. So yeah, quick answer to your question is yes, I would look for a buy entry if we do have that. So that's actually what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for the retracement, sell signal, and continuation back up. So if I get something like that right there, that's what I'm looking to take the buy from right here. It's a little risky, but it still fits criteria because technically the trend is bullish now. It's just more on the neutral side. Because once you have the trend meter down here and it turns green, this is going to happen later. Like you'll see over here sometimes, even on the 1 minute, right? So looking over here on the 1 minute, you can see how price started to shift right here, right above the pivots. So you can see if I was to like rewind to this right here where price started shifting above it, you can see over here that the trend meter was still red, where price was above the pivots and they're starting to angle to the upside, right? Next candle over here, trend meter is still red, but price is above the pivot. So you can start to see the shift right here. As price continues to move along, next candle, it finally turned green. So you basically would have identified a candle earlier. Same here with the sell signals, right? Like if price was, and this is actually more obvious. So price actually got below the pivots like way over here. Right, trend meter was green. Price is pushing below the pivots. You can see how this is kind of laggy. So price right here, you can kind of anticipate shifting in trend. It stays below the pivots for a while. Trend meter is still green. But eventually it turned red. But you could have gotten in like way up here. Well, not really way up here, but if that sell signal came up at this point down here. So that's how you can get a head start. So yeah, no, that's a good point that you brought up right there, Eric. You know, the pivots will give you a head start to identify when trend is shifting. And you can see down here, the trend meter is now shifting. So yeah, we're definitely looking for a buy here now. We just need that retracement. So I'm looking here for the retracement. Once I get the retracement, then I can look for my buy entry. So I'm hoping we get that before 8:30. It's 8:13 right now, so we have about 17 minutes till then. Yeah, no problem, Eric. Definitely. So now it's just a matter of waiting for that retracement candle. So right here, we just need that sell signal. The sell signal doesn't necessarily mean momentum is going to shift to the downside. It's just confirming that it's a retracement. Let's see. Kevin said, I just took a high-low quick scalp on Tesla. I bought 100 shares, made 150. Sean's strategies work on Forex, stocks, indices, and futures, etc. If you learn them and correctly identify them. Nice, Kevin. I'm glad to see that. Yeah, just like what Kevin said, you know, all of my strategies, they're based off momentum and trend. So as long as the asset moves, like if there's volatility in the asset, whether it be indices, futures, stocks, Forex, gold, I mean, whatever you want to trade, as long as it's moving, you can use all of these strategies aligned with them. It just really depends on like what you want to trade, right? Like you're not going to trade like bonds and stuff. I mean, technically you could trade bonds and stuff, but you're not going to trade bonds that move like super slow with my strategies, unless you do it on a higher time frame. So you do it on a higher time frame, you can. You're not going to get as many entries, but you know, it's still applicable. So yeah, no, thanks for the input right there, Kevin. Glad to see that you profited off that. Hoping I can lock in a little something today too. It's just going to be a matter of time here. So I want this to close with the sell signal. It's fine if it's invalid. I just need a sell signal to close here so that we can get that retracement confirmation. So if the sell signal closes here, we'll look for a buy signal on the next, and we're going to try to cash that to the upside. Got about 5 seconds left on this candle right here. All right, so I'm now looking for a buy signal here to close. If I get that buy signal, then it's going to be entry for a momentum scalp. The main thing that I'm looking for here, and I'm keeping an eye out for, is going to be the news price right here. So I can't have price come down and touch news price. That's going to be the main red flag. We're just waiting for this here to close, provide us a buy signal, and we can ride that continuation back to the upside. So you just got to keep an eye out on this right here and wait for it to actually close. Oh my God. Here we go. So price came down. If we get a buy signal right here, no entry. Price came down and touched the news price. So this is exactly what I mentioned. This is the main red flag right here, news price. And again, you know, this is another confirmation why you want to avoid trades at news price, these red flags. because now there's possibility of price being manipulated. Gosh, yeah. And Kevin over here also confirmed, he said it just rejected from the 200 moving average on his 5-minute chart. So he's anticipating that it could shoot back down now. So to be careful. Yeah, no, and I agree too, Kevin. I don't really see anything right here. So if this ends up shifting back to the downside, guys, then there's just not going to be any room for entry here. It's already going to be 8:20. So it's like about 10 minutes till 8:30, which is my absolute cutoff time for trading. If we don't get anything here, it's completely fine, guys. So just keep in mind that today is Monday. You still have a whole week ahead of you. You have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to trade. And as you can see right here, it's, yeah, I see price starting to shift right back down. So let's see what happens here. As you guys can see, it's a messy market. This whole day has been no direction set at all. Price is shifting back into a downtrend right here on the 5-minute and 10-minute. So here's going to be one of the things that we can look for. We can look for a sell signal here on the 5-minute and then a sell signal here on the 10. There's a pending sell signal here on the 5 right now. We just need the sell signal to also close on the 10. If we don't get the sell signal here on the 10, then we can't have any entries here because the next 10-minute candle is going to be at 8:30. So at that point, it's going to be past my trading time. So we got a minute left on this candle right here. If this does not close with the sell signal, then we're just going to have to wrap it up for the day. Because if this closes, then we have to wait for this one to close. And if this doesn't close right now, then the next 10-minute candle is not going to come for like another 10 minutes, which is going to be past 10:30. All right, we got 40 seconds left. 40 seconds is going to determine whether we call it a day or whether we wait for another candle to close. All right, moment of truth. Let's see what happens. Man, what a close one. So it didn't close. It was about to close. I was watching it right here. This sell signal here did not close on the 5. Sell signal did not close here on the 10. It was about to, but it didn't. So unfortunately, guys, it doesn't look like we're going to have an entry for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to wrap it up for the day. There's no reason for us to force any entries right now. There's no entries for us to take, and I'm not going to force anything. So it's getting really late into the session. Well, not really late into the session, but it's late until like my trading time. The reason why you don't want to trade past 8 is because price goes into heavy consolidation right here. So what you might do is you might have to be stuck here waiting for this to like bounce around for a bit on the 10, 5, and 1. And you're probably not going to get much direction. Looking over here on the 1 minute, you can see where price is currently at. It's like literally at the opening price. So realistically, if you're measuring price from where market opened, it hasn't gone anywhere. Market opened over here at 6:30, kind of had some fake outs around the market over here. So 6:30 right here, price pushed up, faked out, came back below, faked out, came back up, and then a bunch of fake outs right here. Actually, it just kept faking out up and down this area. And then here we go with price right back at the opening price. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. Unfortunately, we couldn't take anything today. I would like to wait for this here. However, the problem with this here is that this is like way too late into the session. By the time this candle closes, it's going to be 8:30, and we're not going to have time to take any entries from that point. So I'm going to wrap it up for the day, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com. If you guys are new here and you guys want access to the indicators and strategies, go ahead and go to the website, KodiKaiTrades.com, and get access over here. You guys will start to see me post more on social media. I'm basically creating a lot of videos here. So instead of me posting up like the profits and stuff, I'll go over here and I'll actually, read out everyone's profits and whatnot. Because I think it's more engaging for me to do this here so that you guys can actually see it and actually, see the progress that everybody has trading. Also, I've been working on the new course, so that should be up soon, guys. If you look over here, let me see. You guys can see I have a lot of videos here that I made over the past couple of days. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, over 10 videos with the new strategies and indicators and explanations and stuff like that. So I've been working on the revamp course videos for the past couple of days, past couple of weeks now. So hopefully I'll have it up within the next couple weeks or so. I just have to finish producing them, have them uploaded, and then I'll have them provided to you guys. So I'm doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow for the next live session as we take on the next trading day. Hopefully tomorrow will be a lot smoother. Let me check the news for tomorrow to see if there's anything that will help us. There's not really too much news. There's pre-market news here, which is neutral at 5:30's trade balance. Looking at my FX book real quick. Yeah, there's nothing there either. So there's not really much news tomorrow. Hopefully price will actually move around, but if not, it's okay. Maybe this will be easier for us to really like slide into some positions. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys here tomorrow, same place, same time, as we continue to take on US30 for this week. So have a great rest of your day, guys, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Actually, today's a mentoring session. So if you guys want to sit in on the mentoring session, let me check my calendar real quick. We have our scheduled mentoring session for 2 p.m. And then I also have a one-on-one private session with Douglas at 4:30. And then I have another one-on-one session with Ross at 6 o'clock. So I have 3 mentoring sessions today if you guys want to sit in on any of them. 2 o'clock is going to be the open one for everybody. 4:30 is going to be one-on-one with Douglas if you just want to sit in and listen. And then 6 o'clock, I have one with Ross. So I got a lot of mentoring sessions today. Man, I got a busy day. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you guys